All right, all right, all right. Well, it is that time, everyone. It is that time for another edition, a new season of Maryland's Cafe Society Radio right here on the YouTube channel. How are you? How are you doing on this Tuesday, September the 13th? Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to this new season of Maryland's Cafe Society, season 5. And of course, this is the first edition, and I'm so excited to have you here with me. Well, not a lot has changed, as you can see. Um, the background, I tried to jazz it up a little bit more. And as you can see, that pink logo has kind of reappeared again because I've been hearing over the summer that some of you really, really preferred the pink logo as opposed to the off-white cream color that we used last season. So again, I just brought it back so that you can have it your way. All right. All right. So boy, summer's just about over, right? How did your summer go? Well, I have to tell you, mine was exciting, eye-opening, and all of that good stuff. And boy, did it go by fast. Now listen, I've learned quite a bit over the summer, and perhaps you have too, and we can definitely talk about it. Um, some of the things that I've learned and I guess have been enlightened or just kind of paid more attention to, been conscious of. And one of them is this whole concept or idea of forgiveness. And of course, what triggered it was a conversation that I had a couple of weeks ago with some old childhood friends. We were just checking in with each other, and the topic was brought up. And of course, we talked about it. And then, even more recently, one of those childhood friends did a video on one of the social media platforms, just talking about her experience with forgiveness and how important it is. And so um, we always say, oh, I forgive this person or I forgive that person. Then you realize that maybe you really haven't. And so, um, yeah, what I've come to discover is, true forgiveness is release. And again, we know as sister friend Oprah brought it to the forefront many, many decades ago in her talk show talking about forgiveness. The forgiveness is more about um, a release for you than it is for the other person, because when you hold on to a grudge or things that happen to you, and those feelings of that you have for the people who may have hurt you, you're only hurting yourself because that person has moved on with life. They don't know. And so forgiveness is so important for you. And, eventually the effects of that forgiveness that you share, that you extend to that person, will benefit you. And then, of course, as you share your life with others, you'll just come off as a better person and a freer person, so to speak. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to reconcile or become, a part of that person's everyday life, but just the forgiveness within itself will allow you to grow and become the best you that you could be. And again, the benefit for those around you will be that you will become a better person. And so I spent some time reflecting on that. And again, we um, kind of discussed it and talked about how important that forgiveness is. Another thing that I learned over the summer, I started hearing this phrase, quiet quitting. Have you heard that? Quiet quitting. So much has happened, since COVID-19 appeared in 2020, and we've been um, learning so many different phrases and expressions and words related to the COVID-19 itself and things that happened as a result of it. And quiet quitting is one of the latest words that I've been seeing a lot and hearing a lot of. And again, it's sort of an after effect of COVID. We talked about the great resignation and how people have really physically left their jobs and started new businesses or new life experiences or, found something that they truly enjoy doing. But there are those who are still maybe perhaps with their current job or business or whatever it may be, but they have quit quietly. So they're still there, but they're not there, if that makes sense. And so I've learned that this quiet quitting means that okay, if for those who may clock in or whatever, you clock in at work, but you're not really present, you may be going through the motions of doing your work, but you're not fully satisfied. And then more extreme cases, these people who are quiet quitting, they're just not giving their all anymore to their workplace. They're you know maybe they were 100% prior to COVID, and now they're just kind of giving maybe 75% or 50% in worst case scenarios. And so that's a big thing that employers are dealing with right now. And how do they help those employees who may be um, suffering from this new phenomenon that's called quiet quitting. Although I think it existed prior to COVID, but maybe not just as prevalent as it is right now, or maybe our antennas are up since COVID and we're just paying more attention to things. But yeah, that's a new expression or term or phenom that I've learned about over the summer. Another thing that I learned about over the summer or really started to focus on was embracing aging. Yeah, we talk about it. And you guys saw me over the summer as I revealed what was happening to my hair. And I, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, embracing aging means that you just quit fighting the things that happens to our body. Anybody who's 40 plus knows that things happen no matter how well we take care of ourselves, no matter what we do. There's this process that happens to our bodies that seem to be beyond our control. And so um you know in my mind, if I stop dyeing my hair or hiding the platinum that's coming out, that I felt that I was embracing aging, but I've come to discover that that isn't necessarily the answer. And so, as you can see, I'm donning new braids. I've kind of covered up some of the platinum that was popping out earlier, or that is still there. But embracing aging is just acknowledging the fact that we are all getting older, hour by hour, day by day, minute by minute. We're all getting older, like it or not, and hopefully wiser. But that's just what it is. Just acknowledging and embracing it, not necessarily just walking around not presenting yourself to the world. And I shouldn't say because we're allowing our silver, gray, white, or platinum hair to show that we're not presenting ourselves in the best light to the world. I shouldn't say that at all. But for me, because of what I'm doing, the line of work that I'm in, um, you know uh, there's a different standard, unfortunately, that applies. And so, um, I can embrace aging without feeling like I need to cover, but maybe I just choose to cover and it's okay. Or if I allow certain signs of aging to show, that's okay too. And it's all a part of embracing our the aging process, right? And of course, using the terminology "fighting the aging" is not a good thing because we shouldn't fight it. We can enhance um, our the youthfulness that still may be there, but not necessarily fight the aging process. You understand? And so I've grappled with it, and I kind of have come to that conclusion. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to embrace the aging process, but at the same time, I'm going to enhance the youthful, vibrant exuberance that I still have. And I encourage you to do that as well. Things just happen, wrinkles and lines, and then, of course, the gravity that pulls at our bodies. And, you know, we still have to do those things to take care of ourselves, working out, eating clean as much as possible, and, of course, hydrating ourselves. But, um, yeah, just embrace it. And again, that doesn't mean that you should stop, trying to present yourself in the best light, or you should stop trying to enhance your youthfulness. It just means that you embrace yourself. All right, because after all, whatever your age is, especially if you are, if you have been around several decades or more, it's a miracle within itself because there's so much going on in the world. And so yeah, those are some of the lessons I've learned over this summer, some of the things that I kind of meditated on and come to terms with. And I hope that you had a wonderful summer too. One thing that I did not get a chance to do because I also worked a lot of this summer. And that is, I did not get an opportunity to spend the time that I wanted to spend, in the yard, putting out the flowers and just enjoying some nature time. But that's okay. I still have some time. Fall season is upon us, and it's not too late because we can get the chrysanthemums and some of the other fall flowers in the yards still. So that's what I plan to do to make up for that lost um, summer flower time in the yard. All right. All right. Wow. We're going to bring Cafe Talk back this season. And so, our Cafe Talk question for today's show is: are you feeling stuck? Now, this was an article that I stumbled upon over the weekend, and the writer just, was sharing that again, post COVID, some people are feeling stuck. This whole thing of not being able to move along in life is sort of escalated, or more. There's we're experiencing more people, or more people are experiencing that feeling. And so, the Cafe Talk question is: are you feeling stuck, and what can we do about it? And we'll talk about it a little bit later on. Actually, not too much later, because I don't have a whole lot of cafe news, which is another segment that we're going to be keeping for this new season. Of course, COVID, in my mind, and from all accounts, is over. We know that the virus is still out there, sort of like the flu virus is still out there, but the pandemic mode has passed. And I work in the public, and I'm seeing the people, more and more people. When I first got back out into public work, you would see people peeking out, poking out, coming out slowly, and that was back in December of 2021. And so fast forward to, just this past week, um, they're out there. People are out there in droves now, and it's starting to feel, you know, normal, so to speak. Starting to feel normal, although we still see some folks wearing masks and things of that nature. But we certainly can drop the segment of the show where I would give you guys the COVID update because that is now over. Now, I do know that Ukraine and Russia, that war is still raging on, and we just still just have to stay prayerful and um, continue to pray and call down divine intervention so that the loss of life can end. The unneeded loss of life can end, and there will be some kind of happy medium, and everyone can get back to life as best as they can. And of course, Ukraine would have to begin the rebuilding process. Now, another segment that I'm going to pause on, at least just for now, because last season when I kind of stopped doing it, I did hear from a few people who enjoyed hearing uh, the stock market report. In my head last year, and even now, I'm saying if I'm not doing the show on a daily basis, keeping those people who truly are following the stock market daily updates just once a week is just doesn't seem to make sense to me. I will revisit it if I start hearing from folks who want me to bring it back. But right now, I am going to pause for this season on the stock market, weekly stock market update that I typically use um, or share with you all on the show. All right. In other news, I'll continue with that. And of course, in other news, we know that the 74th Emmys Award show was held last night at the Microsoft Theater in downtown LA. And Secession was a big winner and most nominated and a big winner. And one of the favorites that I really loved was I think I talked about this on the show over the summer. Abbott Elementary, and they walked away with some good wins on um, the Emmys last night, and so I think I shared with you, or maybe it was with something else I was doing over the summer that I really, really enjoyed the show. And I thought that they were really hitting on, in a subtle way, not in a loud way, but in a subtle way, they were hitting on some of the issues that many public school systems face here in America, especially the urban, right? The urban, socially, economically depressed public schools. And but it was done with humor and done quite well. And so yeah, so there was some wins for the writer, producer, director, as well as the show and the actors and actresses in it. All right. Um, well, we heard that the WNBA finals will be between Connecticut Sun and Las Vegas Aces. Our Chicago Sky did not make it this year, darn it. But that's all right. There's always next year. So just wait. Wait to next year, everyone. Okay. And now we're going to get back to Cafe Talk. And of course, the question out there was, are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling stuck now? No one's on the show with me right now, so certainly you can put it in the comments section once it's posted to the YouTube or even on Facebook and some of the other social media platforms, or you can shoot an email to me if you want to respond. But the Cafe Talk is, are you feeling stuck? And if so, what can you do about it? And so and as I said, I just stumbled upon this article over the weekend that was talking about how people were just feeling so lackluster and stuck in life um, as a result of what we've been through for the past 2 years in the pandemic, dealing with COVID, the economic downturn as a result of that, and certainly the social unrest that happened in the midst of the pandemic. There was just a lot going on. The kids home, missing school, parents working from home, just a lot was going on. And as a result, some people have this article was reading that some people feel stuck in life and they don't quite know what to do about it. Yeah, some folks participated in the great resignation, but that was one aspect of their life. And other aspects or areas of their lives, they're feeling stuck. And yeah, we've heard about how the divorce rate has skyrocketed since the pandemic. But that, again, is just one area of folks' lives. And so, what can we do to note to get out of that feeling of being stuck? And, one thing that we think that we can do, certainly you guys know that I'm a Christian, and anyone who's been a part of the show um, know that I talk a lot about prayer because I believe in the power of prayer and faith. And so um, that's one way that you can tackle this whole, for those who may be feeling a bit stuck, um, continue to pray and continue to exercise faith. And I say exercise faith because it's not just having the faith, but putting that faith to work that will move you through the feeling of being stuck. And so, how do we do that? Well, whatever area of your life that you're feeling stuck in, you just have to decide that you want something different, and then do the things that you need to do to um, change it. The folks who participated in the Great Resignation, they did just that, right? Folks who sadly filed for divorce, that particular area of their life, they perhaps were feeling stuck. And so they took action and changed it. And, whatever other area of your life where you're feeling stuck, you need to do that. Now, if it's just sort of a generalized feeling of being stuck and perhaps you are sort of moving into that gray area of suffering from depression, you have to kind of still take life by the horns, as they say, and take charge and create an energetic ambience in your life, and with the circle of people that are in your day to day life. You got to be vibrant. You got to just make that decision that you don't want to feel that way anymore. And of course, there's always opportunity to seek professional help when you need it, whether it's spiritual counseling with your pastor or um, seeking out a professional clinical psychologist or therapist. You can do that as well. But I think when um, what's that saying? Um, Act like you got it until you got it. So, just exude that energy, exude um, vibrancy in your life. It could even start with something simple as what you're wearing. Wear vibrant colors. A lot of people have problems with the color black. And sometimes I say to myself, oh, I got to get away from wearing so much black. I do it for a couple different reasons, but um, adding color to your wardrobe does help, especially those vibrant colors. And we're moving into the fall season. And so, there's some really nice colors like the golden yellows and the vibrant oranges and reds and plums. Those colors kind of create a energy of positivity and lightness and happiness. And so just doing small things like that will help you kind of move past that feeling of being stuck. And then identify, as I said, identify those areas where you want change in your life. How do you want to grow? How do you want to expand your life, your world? And then take those small steps that will create the change or the growth or the expansion that you want. What helps a lot of people is to visualize where you are and where you want to be, and then what needs to happen from start to finish to get you to that finish line, and just make those things happen. Plant the seeds that you need to plant to get to where you want to go or to create the harvest that you want. All right. All right. And so, again, if you want to chime in on the social media comments on this cafe talk, feel free to do so. I'll be checking it throughout the week and definitely interacting with your ideas. If you have some on what you can do to no longer feel stuck, or if you were there and you were feeling stuck, what did you do to feel unstuck? I'd love to hear. All right, everybody. Well, that's the show. I didn't have a whole lot today. Things, sometimes we as producers, we work on things and work on things, and then they don't pan out the way we want. And so the show is definitely not what I wanted it to be, what I had planned for it to be. But we're back. We are back, everybody, for season 5. It's edition 1, and we will get better and better with each show. I promise you, there will be interviews with everyday people, as well as some celebrities and business professionals. Will be mixing it up and bringing you all kinds of great information and entertainment. Now, before we go, we still are going to continue with our word of the month segment, where I kind of highlight a word for us to kind of spend time with for that whole month, get to learn the word, use the word, expand our vocabulary, right? And so for September, the word is salubrious, and it means healthy, giving health, restorative. And so it all kind of ties in with the theme of the show, right? That's what we want. Even as we age, we want to be healthy. We want to speak health into the lives of all those people that we encounter, whether they're in our day to day lives or just, strangers that we meet. You want to be an edifier, right? But the word is salubrious, so we're going to stick with that. So, meaning healthy, being healthy and vibrant, and um, giving health and and being restorative. So let's focus on that word and use it and be it. All right. All right. And so, as always, we are continuing on with seeking out businesses, have a service or a product, a brand that you just want to kind of tap into another market, an untapped market that you don't have access to, which you can certainly do it here at Maryland's Cafe Society on YouTube. All you have to do is send an email to producer at marylandscafesociety.com, and we'll get all the information that you need to you. Now, if you visit the website, there's some information there for you, but certainly there's more detailed information when you send us that email. And again, that's producer at marylandscafesociety.com. And always just check out the website from time to time and see what's going on. Also, remember the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, uh, Facebook, and of course, right here at YouTube. And all you YouTubers, be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And of course, I'm going to continue on with Mondays with Marilyn, although sometimes due to my scheduling, it may not come out till Tuesday, but it's a once a week email that I send out to everyone, just being funny, hopefully making you chuckle or laugh, and or sometimes deep thinking, some deep thoughts that I share with you all. So again, if you want to become a part of that, just send an email to Marilyn's Cafe Society at yahoo.com. All right, and I got to tell you what love is before we wrap up the show today. Love is this new season, season 5 of Maryland's Cafe Society radio on YouTube. And of course, the video is also posted to Facebook, as I said earlier, Instagram, and you can catch it on Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. All right. All right, everybody. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. So if you don't do anything else this week, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege to hang out. And we'll see you on the next show. Peace, everybody. Have a great week.